I have been preaching all offseason not to buy any dynasty running backs going into the 2023 season. But if you're someone out there saying, okay, what running backs are you willing to invest in? I have brought you a list of the only running backs that I want to invest in going into the 2023 season. So make sure you stay tuned as we get straight into the video. But before, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And comment down below which running backs that you guys are willing to invest in going into this year. Before we get into my list, I do have some honorable mentions of that. I wanted to bring some 5 running backs I believe could be a good 1-year deal or maybe even 2-year deals depending on their contract. But at number 1, I have Nick Chubb. He has 2 years left on his contract. The Browns do have an out in 2024, but I think it's going to be a little bit shaky, especially with the Browns' salary cap issues and with Deshaun Watson that massive contract, and they gave up all those draft picks. I think Nick Chubb's going to be here until the end of his contract. Najee Harris, he also has 2 years left on his contract with the potential of that team picking up the 5th-year option. What's that going to look like? Could that be a viable option? Not necessarily sure, but if you believe in Najee Harris, I think this could be a good option for you to pick up as well or trade for. Aaron Jones restructured his contract to be with the team. AJ Dillon hasn't lived up to the fantasy hype that we all thought he was going to be. Maybe taking away the touches away from Aaron Jones. And whether Aaron Rodgers stays or goes, we really like this place for Aaron Jones. We love Jordan Love. We love Aaron Rodgers. He's going to be fine there in that offense. Dalvin Cook, I think the most riskiest one on this list, if that's a word, with the Minnesota Vikings. Doesn't look like Dalvin. Doesn't look like the old Dalvin, but if the team does not invest in another running back in this offseason or goes in the free agency, then Dalvin does have a 1-year window of you to kind of, maybe he does finish as a top 10, top 12 running back. I think that is definitely still capable for Dalvin Cook going into 2023. And last but not least on this honorable mention list, Joe Moneybag Mixon. I mean, the fantasy community has been going all up and down. His value has been rising and dropping and dropping and dropping now. So if you need a running back and you believe this Bengals team is going to keep Joe Mixon at least throughout 2023, then he could be a good option going into this season. So once again, Najee Harris, Aaron Jones, Dalvin Cook, Joe Mixon, and Nick Chubb are all my honorable mentions. Now let's get to my list. In no particular order, I'm bringing this list of guys that I'm willing to invest in, I'm willing to pay the premium in, and I'm willing to say, hey, I just want to set and forget in the running back room for the next couple of years. And some of these guys may be free agents, and we believe that these guys are going to have a contract extension or whatever the case may be. One thing I also want to say before I get into this list, if you have the one-on-one, I am taking Bijan Robinson over all of these guys. If you don't have the one-on-one and you still need a running back, I think there is a gap of where you can actually get another running back. But for some of these players, I will let you know where that gap is. But my number 1 running back, once again, in no particular order on this list, is Breece Hall. Incredible rookie year. Season cut short with that torn ACL. Unfortunately, he was going to finish as a top 8, even top 5 running back. That's what he was on pace for. He's a pillar to this offense without a doubt. As Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, and whoever the hell the quarterback is going to be. This is a good team, the Jets, and I think they're going to continue to move up and build this team to a playoff caliber team. I personally believe. I really hope so, just for the New York community, right? Breece Hall, one thing I want to keep in mind, I know a lot of people are saying, what about that torn ACL? Are we worried about that? I am not worried about it. I'm worried about it in the fantasy perspective, in the sense of I doubt he's going to return the value this year going into the 2023 season, because I do believe it's a mental hurdle and a physical hurdle that he needs to get through. We saw that with a lot of other running backs. I mean, we saw that with Saquon Barkley after he tore his ACL and then he finished as the top 5 guy this year, right? I think Breece Hall is going to be the same way. Don't expect him to be right back to where he was. Wait until the year after, and he's going to be right there being a top 5 running back in fantasy. My second running back, Jonathan Taylor. You all know who JT is. Come on, man. Finished RB1 in 2021. Missed 7 games this year. Finished RB23. Another running back who is a pillar to this offense. I do believe he will get a second contract for this team. It'd be crazy to let him walk. But, great coaching over there. Great offensive line, or decent offensive line. Jonathan Taylor, Michael Pittman, and can either be with CJ, Bryce Young, Will Levis, and or Anthony Richardson. So many options for JT. I think his ceiling is going to continue to rise as he gets onto the field. My third running back here, Kenneth Walker, the real estate agent. Great guy, right? Great rookie season, finished RB 18 this year. Didn't get the full workload until week 6. He did miss one game, but one thing I did notice from weeks 1 to 4 to 1 to 16, as you can probably see on the screen now, attempts 44 versus 205. I mean, we saw him get the workload. Obviously, there's a bigger gap here going into week 16, but just bear with me here. I mean, I think we can see what he can do with the opportunity, right? He was RB 41 in weeks 1 to 4, and then RB 9 weeks 6 to 18. Points per game 9.4 versus 15.9. 5.5 yards in the first half of the season, then 4.4, so a little bit lower. Obviously, that's probably because the more games you have in the gap, and then touchdowns is 2 versus 8. I mean, Kenneth Walker did his thing. Imagine if he had the full season right now, with him taking the workload on. That was only, RB 18. I think he could definitely finish top 12, even top 10. Kenneth Walker, he is this guy for me. He's, in my eyes, a guy I'm willing to invest in. This is a great team. They got their offensive line and Charlie Cross. You saw Geno Smith ball out. You saw DK Metcalf over there as well ball out. And Tyler Lockett. It's kind of crazy. No one expected that, but I think Kenneth Walker is a great guy and a guy I'm willing to invest in as a pillar in my dynasty team. Number 4, a homer. You already know what it is. Saquon Barkley. Say. Give it a say. Finish RB5. 17.8 fantasy points per game. Look, Saquon Barkley, if he does stay with the New York Football Giants, that is great. That is going to continue to rise his stock, and I do believe he'll get a 2 to 4, I would say 2 to 3 year contract extension. But if he doesn't stay with the Giants, I think a team that is a Super Bowl contender team, whether that is the Bills that have the cap, maybe the Chiefs have the money to go get a Saquon. I know it sounds crazy. I don't think he's going to go to any team. He wants to stay in New York, or he's going to go to a team, just like we've seen with every single positional player, try to get a chip. Some of these teams that are ready to go into the NFL playoffs and go to the Super Bowl right now, I think that's where Saquon will go, in my personal opinion, if he doesn't stay with the Giants. But look, we all know who Saquon is. Kind of like what I was saying with Brees. Saquon, another year removed from this injury, new head coach, new offensive coordinator. They actually used him finally. So I think you need to invest in Saquon Barkley if there is an opportunity. And I think this is where the gap is. So it's Bijan Robinson. I'm taking over all these guys. And then it's like, then you're saying, okay, what about Jahmyr Gibbs? I'm at the 105 or the 104. I had the 105 or the 104, but I have an opportunity to take Saquon, or I have an opportunity to take somebody else. I am taking Jahmyr Gibbs over Saquon Barkley right now. Okay, be completely honest. That's the guy that I'm taking over Saquon, which would be Jahmyr Gibbs. And everyone underneath, the rest of the running backs I am going to be bringing up here as well. So my next running back here on this list is Travis Etienne. Essentially his rookie year on the field. Not on paper. Obviously, this is his first year. He was injured with that Liz Frank injury for the whole season on his foot. Then this year comes in, finished RB 17. Not that bad, man. That's really good for a rookie season. This is higher than Kenneth Walker's rookie season. Think about that, right? Obviously, he had a whole year rehabbing. He didn't really do anything. He just stepped on the field once outside of preseason where he got injured. This team is phenomenal, right? We've seen Doug Peterson flip this team around when he came in and made Travis Etienne, made Trevor Lawrence step up, has been doing things to improve this team, signed Christian Kirk, Calvin Ridley is on the way in. And Travis Etienne, where his strength lies, they didn't even use him in that way. They use him more on the ground, and they haven't even unlocked the passing opportunity for Travis Etienne. Year 2, and Zach's been saying it as well, year 2, he is going to get unlocked in the air, I think, and even on the ground as well, for another jump. So another guy I'm willing to invest in, Travis Etienne. I'm willing to pay the premium because I believe in this team. I believe in this guy, and I believe in Doug Peterson to get him the ball. Number 6, come on, man, another guy. We all know who this is, CMC. CMC is back, finished RB2 this year, traded to arguably the best running offense in the NFL to the San Francisco 49ers. If you have literally one of the best running backs in the NFL going to the best running offense in the NFL, what's going to happen? He is going to be great. I mean, he was already great on a bad team. Now he is great on a great team. If you can get CMC, which I'm okay with, he's 26, 27 years old. I truly believe he will play until the end of his contract. I know everyone was worried about injuries. Tell me how many games he missed. Go find out. You let me know in the comments, because I don't really believe that that's an actual concern personally, right? Even when he transitioned and got traded from the Panthers to the San Francisco 49ers, my guy was still balling out, not even knowing the playbook. CMC is just a natural athlete. He's going to continue to do his thing. I am willing to invest in CMC. And last but not least on this list, we have Josh Jacobs. We all know what he did, man. Finished RB3, led the league in yards this year, second in attempts, fourth in touchdowns. He did what he needed to do to get that contract extension. And the Raiders will be stupid not to extend Josh Jacobs, which I personally believe they will, right? So there's two running backs that are free agents, are going to be free agents, or currently in the free agent market that I believe are the most valuable guys. That's Saquon Barkley and Josh Jacobs. I do believe Saquon Barkley does get re-signed. And if he does get re-signed and Josh Jacobs doesn't, Josh Jacobs is the most valuable running back in free agency currently right now. So keep that in mind. There could be opportunities for Josh Jacobs to go somewhere else, but if not, he stays with the Las Vegas Raiders. You know, Devontae Adams. You know, you get Devontae Adams, you get Aaron Rodgers, does he come over? Do they get an Anthony Richardson? Do they get CJ? What happens there? We don't know. And if they get one of these rookies, they lean on the running back. If they get Aaron Rodgers is back with Devontae Adams, and we all know what Aaron Rodgers does with a running back right behind him that is successful, right? And he's only 25 years old. So keep that in mind, guys. These are the guys that we are willing to invest in. Josh Jacobs, CMC, Travis Etienne, Saquon Barkley, Kenneth Walker, Jonathan Taylor, and Breece Hall. You have to pay the premium. You have to go and look at some of these guys and say, okay, where's that gap for the first round pick? I am looking at some of these guys and saying, I'm going to pay right now, and I'm willing to invest in all these guys. So be willing to look at them. I know you guys probably want a little bit longer and extensive list, but let's be honest. The running back market is terrible. We all know what's going to happen. Some jobs are going to be lost. Some people are going to be very disappointed that you invested in a Ramondre Stevenson, in a Joe Mixon, in a Miles Sanders, in a Tony Pollard, and they don't have the opportunities that we all expected. These guys are going to have all the same opportunity, in my opinion, and Zach's opinion as well, to have the same opportunity going into the 2023 season and beyond. So definitely go check that. Guys, comment down below. As always, we appreciate each and every one of you. Make sure you follow us on Twitter. You like, comment, subscribe. And as always, it's all love.
Yo, what's good? Thanks for watching. We got a lot more videos.
A lot more.
If you want more videos.
Watch it.
You can also subscribe.
Right now.
If you want to.
You need to.
And lastly, don't forget that you can sign up to support the show and get exclusive content by going to patreon.com/fantasylandfam.